What's going on, fan club? On this channel, I give my ideas, thoughts, and opinions on topics related to movies, TV shows, and video production and more. And today, we are reviewing The Batman reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what we got here. Michelle Kistner from The Movie Sloth says about The Batman is a gritty, stylized procedural that suffers from some pacing issues, but offers a fresh, standalone take on the Batman mythos. All right, so that's positive, right? Next one is from Leah Greenblatt from Entertainment Weekly, and she says about the Batman, it falls on Patterson's leather-cased Batman to be the hero we need or deserve. I see what you did there, Leah. I see what you did there.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
Positive review. I think we got a rotten one here. Justin Chang downer. Justin Chang from Los Angeles Times. This is what he says about the Batman. This is a movie of alternately promising and frustrating half measures, in which Reeves' shrewd storytelling instincts and the usual franchise filmmaking imperatives repeatedly fight to a draw. Don't know exactly quite what you mean there, Justin. Matt Reeves, he's done the Apes movies, all three Planet of the Apes movies. Matt Reeves, he's one of our most imaginary directors and storytellers of our time. I don't know, what do you mean? That's not for everybody. Wow, here's a fresh one. Joanna Langfield writes about the Batman from the Movie Minute. Matt Reeves has delivered the Batman we have earned. Bleak, yet hopeful. True to his origins, while being very much of our times. And wait till you see that car chase. We saw somewhat of a car chase scene in the trailer. Hopefully you guys have seen the trailer, and you guys, all right, it's out there. He has a muscle car built as a Batmobile, and he chases Penguin in his car. I don't even know what he's driving, but yeah, there is a car chase scene. There you go. Fresh. Here's another fresh one. Fresh tomato from Rachel Leisman from The Mary Sue. What works about the Batman is that Reeves and co-writer Peter Gregg's ability to weave suspense in with characters we knew from the world of Gotham and make them all feel like a cohesive unit. I like that. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see a cohesive story from everyone who's actually acting off of one another. Well, here's an interesting one, a rotten one. Moira McDonald from the Seattle Times, and she says depressing, dark, and endless. I don't know about you, but this particular story in history does not seem like the moment for a movie that will leave you A, miserable, and B, wondering why nobody in Gotham City seems to have heard of light bulbs. Comic book much, Moira? Gotham City isn't like New York or Los Angeles or San Francisco. This city is a gritty, it's dark, it's crime fested, crime filled, and riddled with mafia gangs and who threatens to poison the way of life of Gotham residents. And if it wasn't for Batman standing up for these people, which is what a hero does for people who can't stand up for themselves, Gotham City would just crumble. It was meant to reflect the crime and the nature of the city where the city is at right now at this point in time in its political era. Corrupt cops, crime lords, villains running rampant all over the place. This one I actually like, from Adam Woodard from White Little Lies. Little White Lies, that rare beast, a neatly self-contained contemporary blockbuster. Still too long though. I heard that the Batman was approximately 3 hours in length. Some people can't even sit for too long. I mean, it's understandable. Some people can't sit for long periods of time in general, let alone watching a movie that they may want to stick around and see. They may not be able to. Keep in mind that 3 hours and change does not include end credits, you know, like the the main basic credits right after the rolling credits. Then you have the rolling credits and any post-credit scenes, or 2 post-credit scenes there is. Not to mention post-credit scenes after the main credits and before the rolling credits, and then the very last post-credit scene before you get the studio logo. Usually, I don't know, hopefully there's a post-credit scene in this. It'll be nice, you know. I mean, everyone's doing it. Jump on the bandwagon. Should have jumped on there 20 years ago, but whatever. Here's another one that I like. David Fear from the Rolling Stone. This is what he says: at its best, Batman is a hell of a tough guy, yarn. An entertaining pulp fiction epic under the guise of sure thing blockbuster. At its worst, it's the cinematic equivalent of a mixtape. Yeah, I mean, we all know this is a younger Batman. He has more of a Frankenstein bat suit. Yeah, his costume looks a little retro and a little punk, a little rock, little mixtapey. Yeah, if you want to put it like that. David, this movie, where Batman strikes fear in the hearts of evildoers. Good job, David. Danielle Solzman from Solzy at the Movies. This is what she says about the Batman. The Batman is an epic masterpiece. Enough said. 5 out of 5. Todd Gilchrist from The Wrap says, a Cape Crusader adventure with a purpose, thankfully more meaningful than taking funny book characters. Funny book, I thought they said comic book for a second. Funny book characters seriously for a fast buck. Comic books are not just comic books. They're not just fictional characters that were created to entertain us in the books or at the movies. They're fictional, but they have real, well, some of them, most of them have real grounded stories where a lot of us in society can relate to. I'm happy that studios, directors, production companies, and filmmakers alike who bring these comic book films to the big screen, I'm glad that they take the material a lot more seriously than past decades to give us a more grounded, more realistic, more down-to-earth take on our society's problems that we're experiencing every day. Here's another fresh one from Collier Jennings from But Why Though, a Geek Community. But why though, a geek community? Wow. A superhero infused take on the noir genre with Robert Pattinson diving deep into the Dark Knight's state of mind. Diving deep, not Ben Affleck deep, not Christian Bale deep, not Michael Keaton deep. I'm talking detective deep, and from what I understand, this movie dives more deep into Bruce Wayne's detective skills. A great mix of superhero and realism, and it's a great fit for this movie where we may finally get to see a substantial amount of the Dark Knight and the detective behind the mask. So that's it for the reviews. I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed me reading these reviews from Rotten Tomatoes. If you want more of this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos in the future. Stay notified, y'all. I'm outie.